We're going into map number 1. Remember, pre-recorded match. These two players had played this before they went to Italy for boot camping reasons, I imagine. Fix that jet lag. And now we'll see how the action went down.
Let's see, Brick is going to start off and grab that. I actually like that play, a little bit of a delay. Grabs the LG and doubles back for the heavy. He's trying to get to a rocket. SIB will drop down so he won't be able to defend it. Rail in hand for Brick. So he hears the hoverboard, looks for an opening shot, nails it. As he gets that good opening damage off. SIB trying to fire some rockets, not finding any return damage, and might get cut off here at the rail. Needs to be careful. It looks like he's posted up outside. Eats a rocket right into the face, and that's going to turn him around. As he eats another one, Brick absolutely fantastic with the railgun right now.
Absolute pure, clean execution. Brick hitting the 100 damage rocket, realizing, wait, hang on a minute, I'm against Anarchy. That's pretty significant. Turns around immediately and finishes the job with 2 key rails. SIB immediately on the back foot, and the fact that it didn't really cost Brick any resources, didn't cost him any of his stack to obtain that, which he's going to feel good about now. We're about to have the heavy spawn. SIB being a little bit too full speed ahead around that teleporter, put himself at risk, and now he's answering back. Brick's rails. Oh my word, his rails have just been off the chain so far. But is it going to be enough?
I love the aggression there, too. He's like, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see if you're going to give me one more angle with this rail. As he's hitting everything, there's the jump pad play into LG, into rail. What a combination from Brick. Second frag on the board, looking very strong. Hasn't used Ghost Walk yet.
I really do feel like that the level of Brick's play, it did climb quite significantly from the start of QPL to now. It's, you know, even though he's in this relegation period, it's unfortunate to see him there, but I'm really glad with how far he grew as a player. I really think that however Lucca goes for him, he's going to be going into whatever happens next in a better shape than ever. Oh, jumping over the rail. Just Anarchy things.
That was insane. Now needs to be really careful. Even peeking out could have cost him. Luckily for now, he's going to be able to stack back up. SIB looking very strong now. Brick trying to get all the resources he can. Might get caught out. There's a good rail from around the corner from SIB. 26 HP. This is going to send Brick fleeing for his life here. As he drops down to the double bubbles. Still not out of the woods yet. Still railable. And no rockets either. That's going to be terrible as SIB comes around the corner, takes his time, switches to rocket, deletes Brick, and that'll be 2-1.
And he's going to be rewarded with a heavy. Popping the injection just to become nice and chunky stacked. Mega has been taken though. Brick with no armor. Very unfavorable position to be in. SIB's not quite able to get the read on where he's going to disappear with Ghost Walk though, so somewhat of a breathing space there for Brick. On the verge of dying actually. It's a good thing he was able to get kind of, I guess, an element to that 50-50, right? Forward or back. Got to make that commitment.
Inject back up for SIB. He grabs the heavy and pops inject immediately. That's kind of like stacking heavy with an immediate mega. I like the play as he's hunting out now for Brick. Trying to find any sign of him. There's a rocket. There's another rocket. Finding too many signs of him here as he gets forced through the telly. What a flick though. Rocket to rail combo.
Wonderful rail to hit. Such a hard angle too. Gets the flick. Brick's looking for the entry damage. Goes in for some LG. Waits for the jump down. Pretty good damage, looking for a rail as well. Brick trying to keep him at arm's reach. The plasma forces the retreat, and here comes that mega health. SIB looking to collect, which he does. And now we have to wonder who's going to have the edge here. I think the fact that Ghost walks down for Brick and the fact that SIB has actually got access to the injection if he wants to use it. Let's see if that's going to matter. Yeah, the injection was just used to try and instantly get him out of harm's way right there. Let's loop around, see if the heavy's going to become an option.
Peeking your head around the corner into those nails or plasma is absolutely terrifying, but he does so without taking too much damage. Still tied at 2-4 minutes in. He grabs another heavy. And Brick hasn't contested that for the last couple cycles there, as he's just completely okay with grabbing Mega instead. And playing a bit of a distance game, slowing things down. So again, both players on 2. Ghost Walk finally back up for Brick. SIB with the inject. And it's just a matter of setting a proper trap now for either player.
Injection pops once more, trying to get in and out ready for the heavy to spawn. SIB's in a pretty decent location for it. The thing is, Brick has that Ghost Walk and those 2 rails forcing him away. And now it's going to be a plan B. Let's just try and get that mega back. Okay, the trade. Wonderful rocket. SIB trying to use the downtime to his advantage. Even the odds, Brick sticking around. A little bit risky to do so, but SIB's quite weak himself. Brick's able to double round and steal away those health bubbles, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to survive. He's very weak. The suicide. I mean, Brick, if he's close range, just go for a close range rocket, right? Worst case scenario is you die by yourself, but best case, maybe you would have traded it. I don't disagree with that.
5-minute warning.
Hoping for a mutual, but unfortunately for him, won't get it. And instead, SIB will be able to grab this Mega and has Inject as well. Pretty strong. Brick on the rockets right now, making his way over. Could catch him out. Decides to go to rail instead. So 5 minutes in, a rather close game here on Molten. Good rail through the telly there. As Brick not ready for it. Needs to be careful. Heavy's going to be up in 2. This is going to be a big fight here if Brick wants to commit. Raining down rockets, hits a little bit of damage. Inject will get SIB out of harm's way, and the rails will not connect for either player here.
Nice little boost of speed, and the damage coming through the rocket, just giving Anarchy that momentum he was looking for. Still, though, only 2-1. SIB's got to be careful with that rail, though. The downtime in between rails, you're still vulnerable in between shots. But Brick, instead, is going to thread that needle. He's pretty far behind, even after these health bubbles. Only just not railable at this health.
A little bit of LG there. SIB grabs the 50. And 2 for good measure there, as he has to give up the Heavy. Rocket's not going his way. The Mega is going to be up shortly. And Brick with the aggressive Ghost Walk play. There's a good rail up the jump pad, leaving him at 74 HP after the 25 pickup. SIB in harm's way is going to grab a 50. Brick doing a good job of chipping away, but unfortunately for him, minimal resources available for SIB, but just enough to get him back in contention for the next round of items.
SIB's being nice and patient. Let's not forget he has got the frag lead. It may only be 1, but it's enough to try and establish something. There's plenty of this map left to go too, so there's a lot of time for Brick to come back. Now SIB is really sort of favouring Mega location. I think the ability to pop injection and then use that Anarchy movement to get in and out, you know, really add as much risk taking the Mega as you would be with other champions. But he's chasing it down. Here comes some damage. Is Brick going to dedicate all the way? No, opts to stay safe. Jumps down instead. But I feel like there's going to reach a point where Brick's going to have to start dedicating a little bit more to these fights. I think he's kind of like half entering them. You know, he's getting a little bit of damage and he's not really interested in taking it all the way. Brick, caught in a bad spot and hanging around way too long for the Heavy. I wonder if perhaps maybe there was some mistiming. Maybe SIB has spent so much time near Mega that he was just convinced that SIB would be there instead.
Yeah, Brick lingering and SIB punishing appropriately, but as time ticks away, Brick doesn't have the luxury to take the best fights. Now he just has to start taking fights, and unfortunately he's going to take rockets and LG to the face. SIB adding another frag above the Heavy before it spawns, and now Brick is down on a whole 3 frags in 2 minutes, 20 seconds. That's going to be tough.
Cycle in and maintain this rotation. However, there's definitely not enough of a gap between Mega and Heavy that there's going to be someone that can maintain both of them, at least right now. Looking for the shot, misses the rail, but at this point doesn't really matter. 2 minutes on the clock and he's going to get a rail at the same time. Brick constantly taking this damage bit by bit. And I fear that this is quite characteristic of Brick, that Brick has really amazing starts, but he just runs out of steam quite quick. He's not quite able to maintain that crazy level of play throughout the course of an entire map, and I think it kind of hurts him down the line. SIB now just going in and out, looking for those rails. But once more, any time he gets here is wasted time, and that's going to help him out. There's 3 frags in the lead now. Brick looking to fall once more, of which SIB manages to take another frag, making that 4 frags ahead. And we might be a dangerous position again.
Ooh, there's
Brick
a good rail.
gets it. Yeah, he's very weak though.
Yeah, with 1:20 left, it's going to be extremely difficult. 3 frags, no stack. Heavy is going to come up, but SIB's more than happy to just stay away and say, 1:10, come find me.
We've seen the use of Molten Falls, certain positions on this map. We can kind of just stick your ear to the ground and get a lot of information that you need over where someone's going to be. Brick trying to get the Mega. One of the last Megas he's likely to receive over the course of this map. Uses a Ghost Walk, maybe for some entry damage, just try and take SIB by surprise, but just can't find the mark. Hits 1 rail, needs plenty more where that came from, but it is going to be a start. Nonetheless, he's going to chase it down, head towards the Heavy. Is Heavy going to be where a fight takes place, though? Is that too predictable? SIB hits a defensive rail near Teleporter. It's going to be very tricky for Brick to hit that angle and not put himself in harm's way. 30 seconds on the clock. SIB's doing a wonderful job of just wasting time. This should, by all means, be his map now.
Drops down, and he's going to steal the Mega and the Frag. And I think that just about sealed it. Brick with decent damage with the 225s and the Inject. And the 50 shard are going to completely negate that. And, Rocket Frag again now by the LG. 5 frags. All done. 7-2. Maybe even another one here as Brick pops the Ghost Walk last second. There's the rocket jump and celebration here as SIB will take map number 1 on Molten Falls. And, I mean, nothing overly fancy with that one, but a solid victory from SIB.
It was, by all accounts, a pretty standard map, that one. And it's kind of unfortunate for Brick. It's a quite
65 rail for Brick.
I just don't really remember how often I see him be able to do that. And it seems to be, you know, just, I guess the grind continues, right?
Yep, I mean, as some of the greats say, playing out of control is the hardest part of the game. Everything is going your way when you have all the items in the stack, but the minute you don't, that's where it really tests your mettle. And I guess you're right, Brick having a little bit of a problem there as he's getting out of control. And that was brutal. That was unfortunate. But yeah, the standard play, I think, from both players. SIB just did it better. Look at the rocket to the face into LG. I like the plays a lot, and I don't know, map number 2. What do you think? Based off what we just saw, this is going to be the decider here. Brick and SIB going to round out the series for this one. And we're going to start off on that beautiful kill right there. Look at that. A little bit of machine gun. Not landing. There's one pineapple for good measure as he grabs the tri-bolt.
Now, I've definitely always thought that champions that have this kind of everlasting ability style, like Keel grenades, Galena totems, Athena hook, they almost act as like a constant piece of utility that it just exists as an extra piece of weaponry. That is where I think Keel will thrive, is the fact that he's always got, at any moment, this extra thing that he can pretty much use whenever he wants. It makes a big difference in Timelimit Duel to have that factor, but SIB gets the rail chased down near Mega. Doesn't quite get the rocket boost he's after, but thankfully this is Ranger. He's going to do less damage to himself. Now Keel's problem, he's a big boy. He's got that large hitbox, and can he get it through? Brick is going to fall again. SIB looking too stacked. Any other champion, that probably would have been a death, but thankfully he can take his own rocket jumps and not really worry about them too much. Brick's trying to be a bit aggressive, but once more Ranger constantly surviving with barely any HP. SIB has just exploded at the start of this map.
Brick trying to do anything he can to get that frag, and SIB just won't die. He's going to drop onto the rocket. There's the dire orb for misdirection. Tries to rocket jump out, but there's no escape as Brick punishes finally over at the heavy. He's going to make his way over to the Mega as well. Down 2 early on, but there's still a long way to go for both players here as Brick makes his way over to above the heavy. There's a great rail shot trying to defend that rocket. Misses with the follow-up. Eats a little bit of rocket damage on return, and he might go through the telly here. As SIB rocket jumps up to the T-Con, grabs that 50 shard. Ooh, look at that. A little bit of rocket damage, as well as the pineapple. Good rail as well.
The situation with SIB, though, is that, yes, the rail coming out. Brick kind of understanding I can't really afford to let SIB disengage and then restack back up, especially seeing as the Mega had just been taken. That was a good choice. SIB, though, fresh off the spawn, is able to collect the Mega. And now he's going to have an LG too. You know, spawning near there and going nearby, it's fair to assume what kind of weaponry someone's going to have. I know that Keel's a little bit easier to LG than some champions at the same time. There's a reason Brick's trying to really pick this far range. He wants to stay as far out of range of LG as physically possible. But SIB is, I can't take my eyes off that stack. It is a very impressive stack at the moment.
Jump over too. The rocket won't land, but the rail will as Brick takes minimal damage, all things considered, and can get out. And that in and of itself is a victory. As another great rail denies him the entry to the T-Con, and he might even find another one here as he's down by the drive-thru window. There's a great pineapple into rail. And how do you feel about Citrus, Ketchup?
I mean, I'm actually alright. I'm indifferent about that one, you know. But what I did like a lot was that pineapple shot. That was so impressive. And it was what set up, because, you know, similar to the rocket launcher, the grenades can alter your positioning, right? And it can set up for those rail angles. Brick playing the defensive game, misses the rail, and SIB is going to take him out with the machine gun instead to answer back. And there's only one frag separating the two players so far, but this has been, I mean, it's been similar as an Awoken match, right? There are two champions that get in, do damage, especially someone like Keel. Not surprised to see the crazy back and forth. However, looks like the trap's being sprung, and SIB's going to take the bait, but he does loads of damage. Not enough. Brick springing the trap. I mean, that was just well played, if anything. The combination of grenades, rockets, and rails together is just out of this world damage sometimes.
Absolutely overwhelming there to tie it at 4. Great job by Brick to be patient and wait for the exit from the telly area as he's creeping around the corner trying to sniff out where SIB is right now. Getting closer to 4 minutes in. A little bit of rocket spam and LG to make sure he's not there. Heavy's going to be up first. SIB trying to take some rails here. He's going to miss, and that's going to mean he's going to concede the Heavy for free, and Brick's going to get free rotation over to the Mega. As from the T-Con, a little bit of Tri-Bolt will land, but look at that huge stack on Keel now.
Misses the rail again, but he's looking for some opening damage, especially with that stack advantage. Trying to force him away from this Heavy, and I don't blame him. If Brick's able to maintain at least a stack control, he is going to have that over Rager. His teleport, yeah, he does actually use it to get away, but that does send somewhat of a message that he's willing to concede the Heavy. Brick trying to chase it down, quite a risk to be fair. Very easily could go pear-shaped, and actually now he's opting to trade it out instead. SIB, I quite like this choice actually to trade out Heavy for Mega when he knows that SIB's quite weak, because the armor doesn't help you when you're almost dead from health. That was not a bad shout at all. Now Brick
for that angle.
Yeah, hits one good shot, might be able to undo this, but I think SIB's doing a good job of surviving so far. Gets some more of those health bubbles, and now he's put himself straight back up to a semi-decent regular old stack.
Brick firing off 2 rails, missing unfortunately for him, not connecting SIB with a fairly decent stack here as we're midway through this duel. Heavy is up. Brick popping the rockets a little bit too early, wanted to get more damage out of that. Instead ends up with nothing. A good rocket from Mega, down at the nail there for 41. SIB taking position over top, eating a rail. That was a fantastic shot by Brick. Looking for one more. There it is. He just needs one more after that one. Can he follow up again to make it 3? There's a little bit of LG tickle.
Oh, no rails!
No rails! And the rocket jump will fail, and there's the LG in the air, and he will fall to his death. Surely, great defensive rail, and Brick actually can't contest. And that has gotta hurt.
It's been a pretty common issue that Brick has been having though, is that he can't quite finish the job. How many times is SIB getting away with pretty much 0 stack? I actually kind of think that Brick, he should be in the lead by at least 2 frags at the moment, but he's just not quite able to land the final shot. That's a testament to, I think, him missing the final shots when he needs to, and SIB just doing a wonderful job of being able to just wiggle his way out of a bad situation. The rail's going to miss, but plenty more where that came from. Unfortunately, what isn't going to miss is SIB's return rail. Brick can only tank 2 rails at the moment. Not in an amazing position, to be honest. The sideways rail, going in for those pineapples, trying to dish out some of that extra damage. But as long as he has the verticality, it's going to benefit SIB quite a lot. Hits the rail, good stuff. Not before taking a rail himself, and he's still railable. Watch out for the angle. Making a lot of noise. Brick. Unfavorable position now. SIB can really chase this down if he wants. There's the rail. And that's what he was looking for, 40.
Fantastic shot by SIB there. I like how he played very patient. He kind of knew that Brick needed some armor. Oh no, that's my bad. So yeah, Brick. SIB taking 2 frag lead now. Oh, we're straight into more rocket damage, and that's going to hurt SIB, but pulling away with this one at 7 minutes here. Brick needs to try and slow it down. The pineapples won't save you that much. The Mega goes to SIB as he hears him from down below. Gets a little bit of rocket damage. Ooh, make that a lot of rocket damage on that one.
But now in Brick's position, the moment you're playing from behind as one of those larger champions, but Keel hasn't got quite the mobility as some of the other champions that we see get picked of a similar size. How does Brick try and mount this comeback? I can imagine it's quite a difficult task for him so far. Getting hit by a lot of these rail shots and then some. Going in for the grenade to try and just spam a little bit, keep SIB away. But at this stage, does SIB necessarily mind being kept at arm's reach? Because he's the one that has the frag difference, and he's the one that's dictating the pace of this match so far.
Missing with the rail as he's jumping over. There's a pineapple in the face, but it'll miss. The rail, however, will not. A SIB consistently hitting at least 1 or 2 rails on every confrontation. That's keeping Brick extremely low. There's another one traded out, but in favor of SIB as he grabs a 25, and Brick will miss with another one on the edge of death here, but he doesn't have a choice. 2 minutes left, 3 down. He's got to start fighting for these items. He will win out on the Mega. That's going to be huge, but he needs to find SIB and get a frag within the next 30 seconds to have a chance.
Brick's going to find himself very quickly at that point of no return if he doesn't try and do something about it. Hitting another rail, but once more the question is, the rail is part of it, but then the rest of it is getting the finishing blow, right? The thing that gives you the frag, the thing that you need. But now he's going for those pineapples. Round a corner just in case, but not hitting their mark. You can notice SIB's pretty far away at this point. And the rails continue to miss. I mean, SIB hasn't had off-the-chain accuracy so far, but it's been better than Brick's. The final map, I think Brick's common trouble has just been an inability to close out the frags that he needs, and it's put him more far back than perhaps he should have been.
I feel like we're kind of seeing that mid-round fatigue that you were talking about, kind of the mid-duel fatigue on Brick. There's minute 10 left, still 3 down. SIB doing a good job of playing keep away. Ooh, that rocket didn't keep away from his chest as he's extremely weak now. But Brick needs to follow it up with a minute left. He still needs 3 frags, and it's proving to be a little bit more difficult than he thought as he goes around the corner, eats a rail. SIB with a nice little play on the orb there just to get away. That rocket will land him the information he needs. The rail will miss, and now rocket jump back to T-Con, just being a pest and staying away from Brick. Again, Ranger with that mobility, the rocket jump to Dire Orb, he should be able to close this out without issue, as he can just play keep away for the last 30 seconds.
And he's got plenty of information to do that as well, 40. Doesn't even matter that his Dire Orb's not in play. This is a small map. Going for the runaway, but once more, the goal's going to be just waste time. Yes, we're taking damage, but fundamentally, we just want to survive as long as possible. The longer it takes him to get a frag, then maybe try and get a couple more. Deny that entirely, and we've definitely reached that point.
Ooh,
Game over. Rail. He's chasing it down because he has no other choice, but this map is going to go into the favor of SIB. Well played to Brick, but SIB is going to be the man of the hour, 40. And we'll be seeing him in Lucca next week. And hopefully, this is going to give him somewhat of a level of confidence as he faces his relegation matches.
SIB takes it 7-5, 2-1
Yeah,
over.
right. Favorite, right. As we take a look at some of the highlights, look, it's undiscovered tech, all right? You just wouldn't get it. But again, not anything overly flashy from either player. SIB just playing a standard game, but it's enough to keep Brick at bay. And again, I can't help but feel like maybe Brick does suffer from that mid-duel fatigue. Kind of starts out hot and then maybe the other player downloads him. Maybe he just gets in his own head, but he can't close out the frags that he needs to. And that's going to be huge for him. Hopefully he can work on that going into Lucca next week.
But I mean, all in all, that was a pretty standard map in general. I wouldn't really say that there was a level of, I think, excelling from either side, to be honest with you. I think, the decisions were there. It was a pretty standard Awoken map, but there wasn't... Accuracy was kind of be desired on both sides as well. It was